Hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So we're using these terms to talk about in relationship, right, to a triangle. In particular, a right angle triangle. So you can see here, this is a right angle. So let's go ahead and let's pick an angle. So let's go ahead and say that this is our angle 1. So when we talk about all these words, right, the hypotenuse will always be here. This is the longest side, right? It's opposite, right, of the right angle, but this is the longest side of a triangle, so the hypotenuse. Now, what about opposite and adjacent? These are terms that are all relative in terms of the angle we're talking about. So there's multiple angles, right? But we're going to talk about this one right here. So if you're looking at an opposite side, it's going to be right, opposite side of this angle is going to be right here. And then what's our adjacent side? Well, it'll be right here, right next to it, right? So these are different things. But what happens if we, right, were to draw the same triangle horribly on the other side? But we want to talk about this angle, so we're going to call it theta 2. So our angle here, well, the hypotenuse will stay the same, but what's adjacent to this angle? Well, it's going to be on this side, right? So this is adjacent, and then what's opposite of this angle? Well, it's this side right here. So notice how these are all relative to the angle that we're talking about. So we've seen two different angles in this triangle and how those sides are relative. So it's not that they change or anything, but when we're talking about a certain angle in terms of its sides, it's very important to understand what side we're talking about. So let's look at some examples. So example 1, in the triangle below, is the side A adjacent or opposite to angle B? So let's think about this. So if we're looking at, right, a couple of different things. We're looking at side A, and we're looking at angle B. So notice that this triangle is different in the way that it's presented to us, like, right, the hypotenuse is right here. So if we're looking at angle B, we're looking at this side here, so side A. Well, that would be opposite, right? It's not right next to it, so because B would be adjacent. So A is considered the opposite side. Now let's look at another example. So example 2, in the triangle below is the side B adjacent or opposite to angle A? Well, we're looking at, right, angle A, and we're looking at side B. What do we notice? Well, we notice that side B is opposite, right? This is opposite because it's not right next to, because it's not touching it. So this would be, so B is also opposite to angle